Hey guys, today we're going to be doing a video on electrical outlets. We're going to show you a few things that may help you. First of all, when you get ready to put an outlet in your house, it's got just a standardized box. First thing you want to do is knock out these Romex connectors. And that's Romex. That'll slide down through your box like that. And you usually leave about 6 inches sticking out. So what we want to do next is put our box on our wall, on our outlet here. And you want to slide your Romex down through your box. Like I say, leave about 6 inches out. That's pretty much standard. Yeah, let me get my drill. So you just snug it up. And in most cases, you're supposed to put a Romex strap on it, usually within 6 inches of your box. That'll keep your box from, your wire from coming loose. Then you want to remove your insulation. You want to go right down the middle of your wire. Don't go real deep, but just right down the center of it. Spread them apart. And on your neutral, on your ground wire, you'll have a little bit of paper. Come in there and cut all that off. Most of the time in your normal residential, you'll have a 20 amp or 15 amp outlet. And you can usually tell the difference. Your 20 amp will have a little T on it here on your neutral. That's for a 20 amp plug. But it'll take a standard 15 amp plug. And on the back of these, let me strip my wire out. These are wire strippers. Usually want to strip about a 1/2 inch. This is the type, that's like I say, that's 15 amp. That's kind that's got the plug-ins in the back. You can plug them in the back. Or you can use your screws. I usually use the screws, but on a 15 amp, the stab ends are usually pretty good. And you always tighten up your screws whether you use them or not, so they won't get in your box. You snug them up. And what you want to do, I always usually start with my neutral. That's your silver screw. That will be on your large side of your spade. All you have to do on the round part is stick it in it. And when you get to your pire wire, that's usually your gold screw. That goes in your round one again and usually goes straight across. And then your ground wire, your bare wire, goes around your green terminal. And usually I make a little bend. You always want to turn the loop so when you tighten your screw, it'll tighten the wire around your screw. And usually what I'll do, I'll take my pliers, tighten that loop up just like that. See how I tightened that up some? And whenever you tighten this up, that will tighten that wire around your ground screw and not loosen it up. Snug it up pretty good. Like I say, you want to leave about 6 inches of your box sticking out, so if you ever have to get back into your outlet, you got room to work on it. It's easy, no big deal. And what you want to do when you put it in is put a little bend in your wires, and they'll fold right down, just like that. That's pretty much a standard installation. Let me get some screws off my other outlet. I don't have no screws. Yeah, we do, right here. Bear with me a minute. Usually you don't put these in with a drill, but I'm going to do this just to kind of speed it up, at least get them started. If I can find it. You don't want to force them because you'll cross thread them, just get them started. And you push your outlet down just a little bit. Start this with my hands. Barely snug them up at first. And what you want to do too, the outlet is adjustable so you can line it up and get it square with your box, get it plumb, level, whatever. Snug them up with your screwdriver. I think that's the best. Then you take a wall cover. And like I say, normally this wall will have sheetrock on it. But I just showed you the basics how to hook up a wall like that, or outlet like that. It'll have sheetrock on it. And a lot of times whenever you get into commercial applications or your garage, you'll have a EMT box. That's electrical metallic tubing. That's what that is. They call it EMT. And that's a 20 amp outlet. That's usually what they use. And usually what they do whenever you use EMT, you have to come in here. You've got a grounding screw right here. You have to take a wire and put it there and ground your outlet, which comes off of this. You need your outlet grounded to your box. And a lot of people will do it like this. You come in here with your wire, ground it, have 2 wires on it, ground it in there. And these are called Stay-Cons. And what you do, come in here again, strip. You only want to strip about maybe a 1/4 inch off your wire with that. These are usually used with number 12 wire, is yellow. But with Romex you have solid wire. Let me peel off a little bit and I'll show you. With Romex, you've got a one wire. With your EMT conduit, you don't use Romex. That's a solid wire. You use stranded wire. They usually come in individual pieces, rolls. And then what you do, you take your Stacon connector and put that on there. But like I say, this is only for stranded wire. And then you take a connector here, crimp it down pretty good. And then what you'll do with that, you'll put that on your ground screw. Tighten that down, and then you'll come back with this, and then put that grounded to your box like that. Put your screw in it, and then you still got your ground wire that will go with your neutral and your hot wire back up to your pipe, to your panel. And that way your box is grounded to your outlet. And usually if you go outside, wet location with weather, they make a EMT box that uses PVC. That's just glued in there, and like I say, whenever you hook it up just like you do this one and this one, because you want a grounding screw in it, most of the time the code calls for you to use a GCFI, ground fault circuit interrupter.